Now, please welcome Jeff Yabuki, President and CEO of Fiserv.
Good morning, everyone. All right, it's a pleasure to be here. Thanks to the Money 2020 team. They're doing a great job. The speed dating of financial services, innovation, technology, it's fantastic. Tons of innovation out there. There's clearly lots and lots of things that are going on. We might call them interesting times. Dead set in the world of payments and money movement, right in the thick of everything. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things today. I'm going to talk about the changing expectations of consumers, how that's impacting money movement, and then at the end I want to share a new solution which we believe aligns the expectations of consumers with how to the best way to move money. But I'm going to start with life. Right? Life is just a series of experiences. Starts early, maybe at birth. We work really hard, make a little money, lose a little money, make a little money, lose a little money. Do all of that so that we can have these experiences and maybe retire someday and work a little harder. All right, I thought that was funny. But technology is changing that a little bit. Right? We definitely live in an always-on, all-the-time world, always connected. And that's okay. But it also has an impact on expectations. We want what we want when we want it. How many people hire? Right? You bring in people. I have a 22-year-old. I had an hour-and-a-half discussion with him the other day about the fact that he has to work 9 hours in a day. That's like a vacation day. 9 hours in a day. But what's the point? These expectations are different. But people today are empowered. He doesn't necessarily feel like he has to do that. They're empowered, they're smart, they're active. And they're just not willing to accept the status quo. And that has a real impact on us. It creates some opportunities and it creates some risks. We at Fiserv are in the middle of a lot of that. We serve tens and millions of end customers through more than 14,000 financial institutions around the world. We're about innovation, integration, and scale. We move $1 trillion a year. That's a lot of money. We've been doing it for about 30 years. We know how to make that happen. But we think we can do a lot more because we're focused on a what's next, right now world. And we see an opportunity to transform the world of money movement. And it's all about technology. Technology has intermediated every aspect of our life. You know that much better than I do. One of the stats that I think is interesting is in the 7 years, it's barely been 7 years since the iPhone was launched, most people check their device, whatever it is, about 150 times a day. Most people have more than one device. How many people in this audience have 3? Right? I mean, we have multiple devices and we're checking them hundreds of times a day and we're using them in ways that we didn't used to. Right? We have email and text and all of that. But we're using them for cameras. Right? Cameras were down 40% in 2013, the sale of cameras. How about GPS devices? Remember the Garmins that we all had attached to our windshield? Now you just hold your phone. Don't look at it, you get a ticket, but you just hold your phone. Right? And we're going to have wearables. We're actually going to have watches that aren't. Right? And again, as a consumer, I expect my technology to make my life easier and better, more convenient, faster, and maybe even cheaper. There's lots and lots of discussions about payments. And arguably, there's a war going on at point of sale. At least that's what I think. And there's a good reason why. 200 billion transactions a year at point of sale, $60 billion a year of interchange, that's probably enough to fight for. But the field is changing. Deckers was just talking about MCX, EMV, NFC, right? A whole bunch of alphabet acronyms out there. And then you've got evolving form factors, plastic or mobile, and all of the discussion on Apple Pay, and here around Bitcoin. I think the next emerging battlefield is clearly going to be the clash of the wallets. Do we really think there's only going to be one? Right, so you're going to see a lot of fighting on that front. And really, is top of the wallet the new pole position? There's a lot of activity going on there. And that, again, makes sense. But as much as there's tons and tons of energy at point of sale, there's an attractive space well beyond point of sale. 55 billion payments a year outside of point of sale. And these are consumer to consumer, B2B, government, consumer to business, all the other payments that aren't at the point of sale. Now, we all know that most of those payments are slow, right? Cash and check, although cash can be fast, I suppose, unless you want to send it, let's say, to another state or another country. It takes quite a while to get there via snail mail. Right, it's really fragmented. Consumers don't really understand what methods to use. Do I use P2P, or do I use online bill payment, or do I use money transfer? How do I make money go somewhere fast? I mean, from my perspective, I think a little bit about it as the dial-up world of payments. Slow, noisy, not always dependable. Now, there's probably some people in this room who have never used dial-up. Please don't show me your hands. But I remember how fun that was. But let me share some real-life perspectives on a video of how people think about this space.
I've tried to use an electronic payment service before, but to be honest, I usually end up using cash.
So we have what's called a fridge system. Whoever's name is on the bill puts that bill on the fridge on the due clip. When we see that, we write a check to the person whose name is on the bill, and then that person pays the bill.
We forget to pay each other all the time. We usually have to text each other to remind everybody when bills are due. Lots of times, the person who's on the bill just has to pay it up front, which can make it difficult if it's a large bill.
All my friends bank at the same big bank, but I don't, so it just doesn't work for me. They can all pay to the back, but I can't, because I don't bank there. I feel left out. I wish those services would just work across all banks.
You know, I think it'd be great if my bank could give me one tool to pay for stuff.
It'd be great if I could see all my bills in one place, when they're due, and what my balance is.
Well, I like to get my money fast, so I usually just use cash.
I hate that it takes a couple of days to get the money into my bank account. I like my money fast.
I mean, I'd be willing to pay to have the money put into my account right away.
And that's really one of the most important points. People are willing to pay for speed. One of my favorite examples is iTunes. Now, I don't know about you, but I did actually notice that at some point, the cost of a song went from 99 cents to $1.29. Now, I'm an accountant by background. That might be why I noticed it. But it really didn't matter, and it didn't even matter to me that it was, I could have waited for 15 years for those songs to go from $1.29 to 99, because it's the 99-cent songs that aren't really that good, which are all the ones in my library. But I understand what's going on there. But that's less of the point than, the point is that probably half of the songs that I end up downloading into my iTunes library, I actually have on a CD in my basement. But I'm too lazy to actually go down to my basement, take that, put it into a computer, if I can find one of those things, and download it into my iTunes library. I'd rather just pay the $1.29. Why? Because I want what I want when I want it. And that's what's going on with money beyond the point of sale. It has to move the way people want it. Payments are just too hard in that space. So I believe that we need to think about financial services in the context of the speed of life. And the speed of life is just one thing, and that's fast. Whether you're watching your new baby grow up, or you're watching someone get married, life moves fast, and money needs to move at that same speed. And I believe that all of us as an industry have to come together to provide solutions that actually meet the needs and expectations of all of the users of the system. Now, there's lots of discussion going on in the market around that, but it's not about bringing the industry together. It's not about ubiquity, and I think that's what we need to do. We need to have solutions that are fully connected and always on all the time. We have to have money at the speed of life. And money is emotional and money is personal. For anyone who's done any financial planning, you know how personal it is. It's about how do I take care of my family? How do I pay a bill? But you're really not paying a bill, you're paying a babysitter so you can have a date with your spouse, or so that you can go watch an event at school. Or how can I retire? It's all very emotional and personal. And that's why there's a bigger and bigger disconnect between the emotion of money and how long it takes to get from point A to point B. These 55 billion payments are hard, and we have to figure out how to do that again together. Let me share with you some feedback from some financial institutions who are focused on this problem right now. Let's roll some video.
Our customers are evolving. They are accessing us on mobile, they're accessing us across multiple channels, and they expect very seamless behavior. They expect convenience, they expect speed, and then they expect us to sort of work on removing friction from all touch points.
Well, customers can get frustrated when experiences are fragmented. So if we can come together as an industry and build out networks where we've got connection between the people that bank at different banks and between the different companies, then we can really take that fragmentation out of the experience. And Fiserv is really at the center of doing that.
Our members look to us for innovations that make their financial lives easier. And if we can make it easier for our members to pay a bill or pay a person or transfer funds, then we've managed to accomplish that task.
We're working with Fiserv to envision a future where we have a single, holistic, integrated payment experience, where the customer only has to think about who, how much, and how quickly, and we take care of the rest by routing the payment through the most appropriate system.
No one bank is going to be able to deliver on that. So if Fiserv can help bring us together and create that network, then I think we can take the fragmentation out and we can deliver much more straightforward experiences to our customers and really take that complexity out of moving money.
Our goal is to build a money movement experience that meets all our customers' needs. Sometimes you want to move money that takes 2 to 3 business days and you're in no hurry. Sometimes you want to get the money there immediately, in real time.
We've got a vision for what a profoundly more straightforward money movement experience can look like, and through our partnership with Fiserv, we think we're on track to deliver.
So we're highly motivated to work with the industry to do something about it, to make money movement easier, and also to provide a solution that isn't just about today, but that allows us to do this well, to enable consumers well into the future. A world of choice, ease, and empowerment. And we're calling it NOW, a network for our world. Or maybe it should be network for my world, because it's very personal. Right? And the idea here is to create a network that allows money and data to move safely and securely in a common ecosystem to connect consumers, financial institutions, and all size billers and requesters of money together. To allow people to pay, but also to get paid. One of the most underserved segments, certainly in the US, is the small business segment. 26.9 of the 27 million businesses in the US are small and looking for help and advice all the time. And we're doing this by creating a single directory, a single, open, token, safe, smart directory. An alias directory that allows us to know you and you to know what you want financially. And out of that will emerge some new intelligence. The ability to alert around not you have a bill due, but you missed a bill, do you need to pay something? Creating a different paradigm around how we provide advice to the users of the NOW network. To be able to provide better insights for institutions to serve their customers. Why is it that the best experiences today, consumers talk about digitally, don't tend to be financial institutions, they tend to be retailers? How do you bring some of that into the financial ecosystem? And then improving the ability to make decisions. better decisions around granting credit, better decisions around managing losses, using the data that are available within the transactions in each of our lives. And we believe that removing the friction, making payments, really linking them to life, changes the game greatly. It changes that game beyond point of sale. Now, there are discrete elements of Now available today. We have a next major release that'll be towards the second half of 2015, and we'll roll this out in totality over the next 2 years. And our aspiration is to forever enable a new world consumer experience for moving money. We're very excited to have an opportunity to address the next frontier of payments, the one beyond point of sale, to provide a platform to the industry to go where no one has gone before. Now, let me leave you with one final perspective on how the network for our world captures the evolution of life and provides solutions for a better tomorrow. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of your conference. Let's roll the video.
Life is a series of choices. What to do? Where to live? Which path to take? Even how to pay. Fiserv is reimagining the financial services experience. One profoundly simple way to pay anyone at any speed. Whether that means sometime in the future or in an instant. Now is a network for our world, enabling personal, intelligent money movement beyond the point of sale. Like when it's time to pay the rent, what if Now could send you an alert that your rent is due? One tap on the split button, and you just select your roommate from your contact list. When John gets an alert, he simply taps Send. Then you get an alert telling you the rent is ready. When you tap Pay Now, a message is sent to the landlord showing the rent has been paid. Now makes the movement and the management of money so much easier. Like when your bank reminds you that a bill payment is due. You schedule it and forget it. But that last-minute trip over the weekend has affected your scheduled bill payment. And when the conflict is detected, Now delivers useful, relevant information. Integrated, frictionless. Like when dinner with friends turns to settling the bill. What if it were as simple as taking a photo, attaching it to a request for money, and letting Now identify her and send the request on your behalf instantly? Now knows the people you want to pay or request money from. You just say when and how much. We're taking money movement with ease to the next level with Now. Starting with deeper integration of the basics, enabling real-time money movement, bringing deeper intelligence to every interaction to deliver a more personal, useful, and relevant way to pay in a world that never powers down. Now is the network for our world. Financial services at the speed of life.